The adventuring party finds themselves in Borvia. They're overtaken with the gloom and the despair, which hangs thick from every rooftop and every blank face they see. They discover a letter on a dead body near the gates of this land, and they walk through the small village's narrow streets in search for the townmaster. We pick up again with Bam the Claric, Garagos, sometimes called Garos the Hunter, and Tala the Druid.
So you can walk down the street, you can see just people passing you, kind of back and forth, and kind of just looking at you as you walk past, no one saying anything. Then you see two children staring at you kind of intently. They're kind of standing on the side of the road. The daughter, she appears to be about 10 years old, so she's trying to comfort her boy, and Thorn is crying, and he's clutching a little small stuffed doll. And she points to one of the row houses, kind of townhouse that sticks out, and she goes, "There's a monster in our house." She points to a row house that's definitely seen better days. The windows are dark. There's a gate out in front. It's kind of rusty and slightly ajar. And the houses on either side of the street look abandoned.
What kind of monster?
She's just like, "I don't know." She looks up at you. She goes, "But there's a monster in the basement. We don't want to go back in our house. And our brother's in the house. Our brother."
How do you know there's a monster? Did you see it?
No, we've heard the monster. That's why we stay in the attic.
It's not good. I guess we should go
Where
investigate.
are your parents? Why didn't they get the monster out?
Our parents? Our parents put us in the attic.
Well,
They
why
look
didn't
up
they
at
get the
you.
monster out?
We don't know. The monster's in the basement. And the little boy continues to cry. And she goes, "Shh, Thorn, shh. These people can help us."
I'm with Tala. I think we go investigate.
Yeah.
Okay. You approach the house.
Is the crying sound like this?
It's not. No, it's more of a weeping. That's more of like a screaming, like it's more like a. And they kind of stay outside as you approach the house. The rusty gate right in front of it, opening up into a foyer.
Let's approach the doors.
Okay. Inside this room, there's oil lamps kind of hanging from the ceilings with metal black chains, and there's a coat of arms, a style goldish windmill painted on the right side of the room.
Do we recognize the coat of arms?
You do not. It's a golden windmill with a red flag, and there's portraits lining the walls. There's a portrait of a man, a portrait of a woman, and then the portrait of two children. And you recognize the two children, and they were the children you talked with outside.
There's just two children? I thought they said they had a brother.
They did.
There's only 4 paintings.
So 4 paintings and a coat of arms.
And you can read below on the Durst family. The pictures are very glum, not smiling.
Do we detect any traps?
No traps. Smart. It's always only funny until you fall into one.
Yeah, right. Okay. let's go
Onward to
through.
that next room.
Door number 2.
You see a fireplace to your left, no fire in it. And this room kind of appears to be running the width of the entire house, like a wide hall. And there's a black marble fireplace and a red marble staircase that's winding up.
I want to investigate the fireplace.
If you look at the fireplace, Tala, you notice that there's serpents and skulls, like inconspicuously woven into the design of the fireplace. And you step back and you see these patterns of the serpents and skulls like all over the room. They're in the wall design. They're like on the top, or like on the bottom. But like you would not see this.
Okay. They said the monster was in the basement, so I'm not sure we want to go upstairs right now.
I mean, if the monster's in the basement and there is a brother that exists, wouldn't he potentially be in the attic?
Yeah, he would probably.
Why did they
be.
leave him there? A lot more questions for them now that we're in here.
Why did he choose to stay?
Is
I
he an
don't know.
older brother, a younger brother?
Is this illegal to leave like a 1-year-old up there all alone? Let's
Okay.
go see if there's actually a brother upstairs.
You head straight upstairs. Now you feel like you're on the second floor.
Are those statues that I see?
It looks like there's a suits of armor, and they clutch a spear. The visor is shaped in a wolf's head. Above the fireplace, you can see a portrait of the Durst family. You can see the man, the woman, and then the two children. You recognize the two children as the ones you talked with outside.
Do we see
Talcum.
the snake and skull patterns
Uh,
up here as well?
no, you actually see, like where that pattern was, it looked like a bunch of children dancing.
Children dancing.
Yeah, like, dancing.
I'm gonna go ahead and check out these statues along with the rest of the room, the children.
They're suits of armor. So it looks
Oh,
like
okay.
there's a leather of dust covers the ground and covers all of the suits of armor. Looks like no one's moved in this room for quite a while. The metal looks old and brittle. You can tell that this suit of armor was just a decoration. It wasn't using. And then you also kind of look and you kind of point out Tala and you're like, I don't think those children are dancing. And you kind of look up and get closer. And there actually looks like they're fighting off swarms of bats all around the room.
That's a big difference.
We saw the house from the outside. It looks like there's 3 stories and then the attic is the 4th story.
Mm-hmm. We continue up.
Can we,
Yeah.
do we see like any disturbed dust?
No.
I guess I was under the impression that maybe these kids had not been out of their house very long, so it doesn't look like anybody has walked. What about on the stairs?
The stairs also have a very fine sheen of dust.
I think
the
they
only
just
dis-
sent us in here. This may not. I don't know. It's weird.
I think there's another stairway in the house for the kids. I mean, I'm just putting that out there for the
Oh.
kids.
Oh,
It's
gotcha.
dusty, and the kids say they sleep in the attic.
Yeah, okay.
All right, next you continue to head up the red marble stairs. You look at a closer inspection, and it's just a suit of armor. There's nobody inside.
We're gonna find like their bones and realize everyone in this town are ghosts.
Yeah, something like that.
The moon pie in your bag feels real, like someone really gave it to you.
The pie is real. Hey guys, I see a door. Do we want to go through it? Or does the staircase continue to lead up?
The staircase does not continue to lead up.
Can we hear anything?
You hear some faint crying in the distance.
Can we tell where it's coming from?
It sounds like a woman. Like it doesn't sound like a child.
We can't tell what direction it's coming from?
No, it seems to echo around the house.
Great.
The door is opened. You see bathroom. You see a wooden tub with clawed feet, a small iron stove with a kettle resting on top of it, and some plumbing that goes down from the roof that you realize would be used to collect some rainwater, feeding out in a spigot. But it looks like the plumbing clearly wouldn't work. There's a bunch of holes in and then in the wooden tub itself, there seems to be some type of body laid under a thin cloth.
Is there
Maybe we
anything
should have
under?
started with that.
Is there anything underneath the tub?
You look underneath the tub and there's nothing, just cobwebs and dust.
What about the body? Tell us about the body.
Yeah,
The
so
age.
I'm gonna go ahead and try to. I'm gonna pull off the cloth from the body, which is a bad idea.
It looks like a human, definitely been here a while, slightly decayed. A sheet of parchment grabbed in its left hand, and you can kind of tell from the remains, it appears to be the man from the previous pictures.
Can I use my medicine skill and assess how they might have died?
Yes.
I want to read what the note says.
Okay.
My beloved children, I wish I could do what all fathers do and tell you that monsters aren't real, but it wouldn't be true. Life can create things of exquisite beauty, but it can also twist them into hideous things, selfish, violent, grotesque, monstrous. It hurts me to say that your mother has turned into one such monster inside and out. I'm afraid the disease that has inflicted her mind has taken hold in mine as well. It sickens me to think what we've put you through. It sickens me to think what we've put you through. There is no excuse. I only ask you, though I know I have no right to do such. You try to forgive us. I despise what your mother has become, but I love and pity her all the same. Rose, I wish I could see you blossom into a strong, beautiful woman. Thor, Walter, I wish I could be there for you, but I can't. This is the only way. Goodbye.
I mean,
It's mentioning 3 kids.
And then you search the body once again, and wedged between the tub and the wall is a small vial that's empty.
So he probably poisoned himself in a suicide.
yeah.
The door appears to be unlocked. Kind of press down against it and push it open slowly, and you peer into the room.
We have a bedroom.
You can see dusty, cobweb-filled master bedroom. The furnishings. There's curtains, empty wardrobes, a wooden framed mirror sitting on top of jewelry box to the left here. You also can see in a portrait of who you now have seen multiple times of Gustav and Elizabeth Durst. Hanging above it. Their names are kind of scratched down at the bottom. Let me know if you have any other questions about this area.
You said there was a jewelry box. Is there anything inside?
Yes, you open it up and you find a couple things. You find 3 golden rings, all inscribed with a windmill on it, and a thin platinum necklace with a topaz pendant. And also, kind of at the bottom of it, you find a note.
I want to read that note. My dear Miss Petrova, cult master, your advice on dealing with the unwanted fiend in my home is quite good advice indeed. Tonight's ceremony will proceed as planned, and the moon is at its highest peak without, of course, the attendance of Mr. Durst. I must agree with you that with the assistance of such a remarkably innocent subject, the results of our proceedings may be far improved. Quote-unquote innocent, of course, is not quite the term I would use. If nothing else, I am relieved that I shall soon no longer have to suffer the harlot's insufferable presence each time we must pass through her quarters in our meeting space. We shall be well rid of her indeed. My thanks, Miss Elizabeth Durst. Okay, so Elizabeth has become a cultist.
Yeah.
And she's sacrificing, it sounds like she's sacrificing someone, potentially her daughter. Such a remarkably innocent subject. The results of our proceedings may be far improved. Quote unquote innocent, of course, is not.
Okay.
Or maybe it's not her daughter. Maybe it's somebody else.
It seems like a woman, though.
Yes.
Sure. Okay.
And then
So you're on the 3rd floor, but you
All
feel
right.
pretty good that you've searched it sufficiently.
the southernmost door, then. Go ahead and open that.
All right. And the door creaks open, and you see the passageway into a larger room.
Oh, do I want to do this?
Right, you can
All right.
kind of make out the edge of a bed, and you kind of see a fireplace on the back right. You kind of can deduce by looking around in the room itself that this probably was a nursemaid suite. There's dust and cobwebs surrounding the bedroom.
Oh, so this may be the innocent that was sacrificed. That was in the letter.
Could be. Can I inspect this fireplace?
You can see that in the fireplace, it's ornate wooden with ivy and berries designed into it.
And there's not a skeleton or anything in her bed?
No, but
Is there any kind of obvious ripples that may be in the sheets?
looks like hasn't been there in a while. You can notice that the berries and ivy are actually, you kind of make out some of them aren't berries, but eyeballs.
Great. I'm going to go ahead and move the sheets to see what's underneath.
Kind of swirl starts to happen in the room, and kind of the wind starts to spin. A figure of a lady starts to appear right in front of you. And 1 second. As a specter appears like a young lady, maybe in her 20s, and she kind of looks at you and she kind of murmurs back to herself and she says, "Set them to rest, set them to rest, set them to rest, to rest."
Send whom? Who to rest?
Looks straight at you and yells, "The children!" and kind of lunges at you.
What has happened to the children?
Bond, she looks at you and is like, "Set them to rest, set them to rest, set them to rest."
Okay, let's go. Show us how to set them to rest.
Yeah.
It doesn't respond to your question and just continues to repeat that over and over again.
We're kind of concerned how to send her back to rest.
Can I poke one of the eyeballs by the fireplace?
It has no effect.
Okay.
That's hilarious.
All right. Well,
I just don't know what we're going to do with her now that we've roused her.
I think we'll just leave her. There's a couple more doors over on the side. Can I
Okay.
go to the door?
You can see like a crib in the room with a black room. The specter gets really angry and it's like, "Do not touch my child!" And she attacked. Roll for initiative.
Oh crap!
Golly!
I tried to leave the crib room to see if that would help calm her down.
Did not. She still looks really angry.
I say to her, we mean them no harm. We mean them no harm.
She kind of steps back and kind of looks at you. "How can I trust? How can I trust? How can I trust?"
We are not here to vanquish. We are here to help.
Tala, did you say anything?
No, I mean, we're here to help the children.
She stops and calms down and steps back, but she looks very concerned and anxious.
How many children do you have?
She's like, I love all three of the children. Only one of them is mine, but they're all mine. Don't you see?
Which one is yours?
Ah,
Walter.
very nice.
Walter, okay.
Is he the eldest or the youngest?
He's still in there, I think.
Who is in the other room?
She kind of looks at that room and doesn't say anything. Because she looks at the door with the dirt across the windows built into the doors. She's growing agitated.
Was Walter loved by his siblings?
We all love Walter except the missus. We all love Walter except the missus.
We are not here on her behalf. We are here on the behalf of the other children. They asked us to come. They said that he was here.
She kind of looks at you confusingly. Lay them to rest, lay them to rest, lay them to rest. Her form begins to grow larger, larger, and larger. And then she disappears.
Well,
Do we want to open up the other door?
does it appear that there's anything in the crib?
Covered with a black sheet.
Did I lift it up, guys?
Do you lift it up, or are you asking, do I lift it up?
I'm asking the team.
I look at her, I ready my short swords, and I nod.
Okay. Is there anything under the crib that I can see?
No, there's nothing under the crib other than cobwebs.
All right, I will lift it.
You lift it up and you see the type of swaddling, the clothes is kind of wrapped in a bundle right at the center.
Is it
So
just
it's a-
clothing or is it wrapped around something?
You can't tell. It's just, probably about a foot and a half swaddling kind of wrapped together.
I guess I will unwrap it.
You pick it up in your hands and you hold it and you go, and there's nothing inside.
Okay. There's nothing else in the crib?
No.
All right.
I'd like to open up this door.
You open up the door. It leads out to a balcony. You look out, you can kind of see the city streets you saw once before, kind of leading the row house after row house and the wine shop right across the street. And you can see the fog all the way around it. And from this vantage point, you can see on the very top, on the outside of this very distant horizon, you can see the peaks of some type of castle that you had not seen before. And you look around in the streets and you can see there's not a soul, not a single person walking on the streets.
I think somebody else needs to go investigate the fireplace. So I think the note was about this nursemaid based on all the clues, and that also seems to suggest that they talk about passing through her quarters to their meeting space. There's got to be something else in this room.
Very true. Unless their meeting space is the balcony.
Yeah, I'm doubtful. Can I just investigate, I don't know, like this corner in this? Can I do detect magic?
Kind of feel that there's a magical energy in the house itself,
Mm-hmm.
all around you, but not leading you in any specific direction.
There's no lanterns or sconces to pull.
No. There's nothing abnormal in the crib room. You kind of feel all the walls, and you look back and forth, and there's nothing there.
I think we need to take off the dust and dirt from the windows and see if we can see anything beyond the windows, just like we did
Okay.
with the room.
I'll roll for cleaning.
And yeah,
I'll do the same. Mine's a crit fail.
Yeah, Tala and Garos make perception checks. So you clean it off, and it kind of illuminates the room more. The moon is kind of out and cutting through the fog, and it's cast like a light on this wall. And you can see that there is something wrong with that wall. Something's not quite right about it.
All right, back to the wall.
To the wall. To the
All
window.
right, roll an investigation check.
To the wall.
Behind this, you kind of push around. You can see that there is a fake wall, and it collapses on two different directions. Looks like it used to be on hinges, but it kind of just totally collapses in on itself.
I knew it.
Good call. All right.
And the stairs in the room lead up. All right, who's going up the stairs first?
Not me, I'm chicken.
I can go first.
Like you go up the stairs and you find yourself on this landing. Tala's right behind.
Hmm.
It goes up one more additional landing. And you can make out a door on the top of that landing.
Let's go up and approach the door.
Okay. You can see a bare hallway choked with dust and cobwebs. The dust increases like tenfold up here. You can see a door in front of Garos. You can see another door and a dusty window. This one you're able to see slightly out of to another balcony below it. And then right in front of you, Tala, there's a door with 3 padlocks on it. There's a door to your south with no padlock. And that's all you can see for right now.
I'll pick the south door.
Okay.
Yeah,
It
let's do it.
creaks open, and you're able to step in, explore the room now. You can see it, right? You can see into it.
Yeah.
You see a spare bedroom, contains slender beds, nightshade, iron stove, a writing desk with a stool, an empty wardrobe, a rocking chair, and a small doll in a lacy yellow dress.
I'll search the desk.
You search the desk and you find a journal.
Oh, I read the journal.
It's the writings of Gustave, the master of the house, and most of the writings are illegible just due to age and poor ink used. But this one of the last entries, you're able to read, and that's what it says.
I must confess my nights as of late have been sleepless. The child's wails these past several evenings have kept me awake, haunting these halls like a ghost. Margaret does her best, but other clouds yet trouble my dreams. My beloved Elizabeth, I am sure, feels it too, for she tosses and turns in our bed and awakes with her forehead slick with sweat. Over the past several congregations, I have become suspicious of the ambitions of the others. Their dark murmurs worry me, and though I know that a shadow ought not fear a blacker night, I cannot but fear for the extent of their plotting. If anything happens, I must find a steward of this house and a caretaker of my children. I must keep Rose and Thorn safe, and dear Walter close. Should the worst come to pass, there will be nothing. Thorn?
Rose and Thorn, those are going to be his kids.
Okay.
And Walker is going to be the housewife's kids.
Okay.
Essentially his mistress.
Walter might be his kid too, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I took away.
So I guess Margaret must be the nursemaid.
Yes. The doll that's there, I'm assuming it hasn't been played with for very long. Can I inspect it?
Yes, you do. It looks like an ordinary doll of poor construction.
I'm going to put that in my backpack.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, you take the doll.
I'll go through the northern one.
In this room, it appears to be another bare bedroom, smaller in nature. Nightstand, rocking chair, empty wardrobe, small iron stove, but nothing else.
Nothing.
It looks
in
like
the
it has
bed.
not been used in a while, and nothing of value.
Can I touch the bed covers like I did the last bed? And see
You
if it-
do, other than kind of just getting a thick layer of dust on your hand, there's no other effect.
All right, I'll go through the southern one as well.
Okay, you push your hand up against the door and you push it open, and this is what you see.
Oh, that is spooky.
Dust chamber packed with old furniture, chairs, coat racks, mirrors, mannequins, just alike, draped with white coverings across it. You can see an iron stove, and underneath the sheets, you can see a trunk, a wooden trunk inside of it, next to it.
I think I want to look at the trunk first.
The trunk appears to be unlocked, and you're able to slide it open. And you can see some cloth, very similar to the cloth covering the furnitures, with some red stains on it, but that's all you can see.
Can I see if there's anything under the red stained cloth?
Sure, you kind of pull it back and you see the skeletal remains of what appears to be someone dressed in a nightgown clothes, and the remains of the corpse appear to be someone like in their 30s.
So like someone was beaten and stabbed and tossed in.
You can kind of tell that it appears that multiple knife wounds were inflicted on this person, kind of killing them.
Okay.
And kind of the face looks somewhat familiar.
Does it look
No.
like she's the specter that we saw?
Yes.
Oh.
Great. Well, we found out what happened to her.
Yeah. Do we pull the drop cloths off of this?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, let's see what's underneath. I'm especially interested in the mirror. I don't know why.
Okay. You pull it off and you can see yourself. It seems to be reflecting yourself in the normal kind of function.
Yeah,
You don't look strange. You look like what you're expecting to see yourself.
All right, I'll start. Taking off everything else off of all of the drapings.
They all look just to be ordinary.
What? Do we have any thieves' tools or anything that we can open up these locks, or do we want to open up these locks?
I think we want to open them. I don't think any of us have thieves' tools, so I think we got to use force.
I have mason tools.
Hey, that's
Mason tools?
a step in the right direction.
Like a hammer?
Yeah.
I would think any mason tools, a hammer, that's more carpentry, but I would think a mason would use one too. Bricks and laying mortar and scraping it away, shovels to use the mortar. That's what I'm guessing. I can look up what mason tools are.
No, I think that's probably a pretty accurate list. I think we smash one of them with the biggest mason tool that she has.
Yeah, let's do that. Do like the battle axe, maybe.
But it says I also have a crowbar. I got a
Crowbar. Yeah, there you go. You got a crowbar. Perfect. I think that's going to be the tool that we use. So I'll take the end of the crowbar. Can I fit it in between the locking mechanism and the actual
You can give
pry
it
it
a pull.
open? I tried to pry it open, yeah.
Push.
Okay, so
She could turn into a bear and push. I don't know if that takes like a spell slot or whatever.
it kind of bends and bends and bends, and it goes snap, and it kind of flies off back behind you. But there's 2 more remaining.
What's the door made of?
Wood.
I could set it on fire.
Do we risk setting the rest of the house on fire?
Yeah, I mean, that's a fair question.
So does it cost you anything to transform into an animal?
No, I can transform.
You have 2 more, but you've been in this house for what you think is about 4 hours.
Okay, see which one sounds.
We're looking at getting some more strength to get the lock open, and one of them came off, right?
Yeah,
One
of
did.
the
We
3.
have 2 more.
And then the other one did not open because,
Because I'm not strong enough.
we did this before one time, and I told you I saw something on the internet about how you jam something in there and then you hammer it. So
Does the character know about this internet?
well, we used it before. We used it before on one of them. And I do have a hammer. I said light hammer, but another place it just says hammer, where we can take the crowbar and put it inside the U and then hammer down the crowbar. So it's not necessarily you just pulling on it. It's also the hammer of the strength.
You are a hill dwarf who knows about stone and metals. So you approach it and you kind of wedge that crowbar in it, kind of the backside of your hand axe, and you try to use it as a hammer. Regrettably, kind of your hand slips when you bring down your axe, and it kind of hits it in a place that doesn't apply a lot of force onto it, and it just like on a cling that kind of echoes off the wall.
And then
but the lock doesn't open.
And
So what
sit
would I
on
do?
the side. You just sit on it because you're going to be a giant black bear, right? Or could you transform into like a whale and just drop on it? That would probably break it.
I do not have the ability to do a whale, so I'll transform into a brown bear.
Okay, you transform into a brown bear.
So the crowbar is still wedged in the second lock. I think she just, with her front paws, pushes down all of her weight on the crowbar trying to snap it.
Okay, yeah, roll a strength check with advantage. It pops open, and the wedge works, and it kind of breaks the internal mechanism of the lock, and it opens.
And we move on to the third one. Same thing.
And the last one pops open. The door doesn't open, but you step back, and there's no locks on it anymore.
Okay, I guess I open it.
You look into it, and what you see is a room. The window is bricked up. It's flanked with 2 dusty wooden beds, very small, kind of designed for children. Closer, you can see a toy chest to your left and paintings of windmills on the doors. The dollhouse appears to be a perfect replica of the house in which you stand. The furnishings are covered with cobwebs. Laying in the middle of the floor are 2 small skeletons wearing tattered clothes. And the smaller of the 2 are holding a doll, which you also recognize.
So the 2 skeletons are clothed in the same clothing as the 2 kids that asked us to come into the house.
Correct.
That's depressing.
You were right. You were right about them not being alive.
Yeah, I don't like it.
As you walk deep into the room, 2 figures kind of swirl about and appear in front of you.
And I say, put them to bed.
One begins to cry, Thorn begins to cry, and the ghost of Rose kind of steps forward and tries to comfort them and looks straight up at you and kind of cranks her ghostly head back. And she's like, we don't need to go to bed. We're dead.
Yes, I do realize that you're dead. I also realize that you asked us to come here. I'm wondering what your true intentions were.
No, we didn't. We've been here the whole time.
You were also outside.
And she kind of looks down at her feet. From outside the room, you hear a like foots on stairs, but very rapid pace, like pop, 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 pop.
What happened to you?
They locked us in here. You know that there's monsters in the basement. I think they forgot about us. And the small child begins to cry again.
How can we help you?
Deal with the monster in the basement.
What's the monster?
I don't know, but that's why they lock us in here. Go to the basement.
We
Did you
still don't
love
know
your
where
brother?
Walter is.
Yeah. I say, did you love your brother?
Yes, I love my brother, and Rose kind of extends her hand out behind Thorn.
Both of them?
Oh, you speak of Walter? Yeah, Walter didn't stay up here with us. He is not our brother, so our mom says.
Oh no, that's a big one. My mom says.
She steps away and kind of takes Thorn and gets him to play with the dollhouse. They turn their back to you.
We will try to deal with what is in the basement. Is there any assistance you can give us?
What assistance can we provide?
How do you know there's a monster?
Because we hear things. We hear the screams and the yells. That's why they put us here.
Did your mother turn into a monster?
No, that can't be. And Thorn kind of turns back around and starts playing in the house, moving kind of figures around.
Is there anything? I say we will help you as best as we can, and I leave the room.
They yell at you and they're like, "Don't leave us!
Come
Don't
with
leave
us.
us!" He's like, "No, we're not supposed to leave. We're safe here."
Remain safe, and we will be back for you after we have dealt with what is in the basement.
Rose looks really angry and she's like, "Don't leave us here."
Where can we bring you?
Rose stares up at you kind of defiantly and steps towards you and disappears as she steps into you, possessing you, holding you up, and you gain a feat.
Oh,
This is what you get.
Good thing.
It's like inside you, inside your mind, you can hear like the small child speaking to you that's just like occupying your body, and you gain this additional character flaw.
I like being in charge and get angry when other people tell me what to do.
And Thorn begins to cry. Where is my sister? He also notices the big teddy bear behind you and kind of points at him. Teddy? Referring to Tala.
I'll like walk up and let him pet me.
Okay.
Yeah.
You walk up and you move your head lower to let him pet you. He goes inside of you, Tala, and disappears.
Great.
He possesses you also. You can hear his voice like inside of your head. You begin to be afraid of everything, including your own shadow.
Great. Okay, well, since they're coming with us at this point,
Yes, we can leave the room.
I guess we go back downstairs.
You hear a thud and you hear something kind of running up and down the stairs. You're staring at the stairs and you see something, nothing, but this sounds different. It sounds like it's in a
I think we go down. I think we go see what's going on with this demon downstairs. Okay. I don't really know. Don't leave us. Okay. Stupid. So yeah, we could go down to the second level and explore that. If I leave the house and they're still with me, then we may have to deal with it. But we may not be able to leave the house with them inside of us. So I don't know. That's just my thoughts.
Garos, you feel slightly angry that someone questioned what you thought you're going to do. You can feel your Rose's presence within your mind.
All right.
You're now at the second floor landing.
Yeah.
You see a portrait of the Durst family, Gustav, Elizabeth, and their two small children, Rose and Thorn.
Without questioning anyone about it, I want to go through these two doors.
Okay. And you reveal
a piano room.
Yes, a conservatory with stained glasses depicting beautiful men, women, and children singing. Nothing else.
So my character, Garos, does not have any musical ability. Do I feel like the daughter had a musical ability and she liked to play the piano? And I go over to the piano and I try to start to play.
Okay. The rust sounds of an untuned piano kind of echo through the halls, but nothing else.
And it irritates me, and I stand up and push the piano away from me and stomp off.
You hear rats scrambling up and through the spaces within the walls. Start to play, and then Tala starts to play.
Clang.
Yeah.
Okay, clang, 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 clang. Kind of, you can hear some echoing of voices of children around you, but they're too faint to hear the noise, and you hear like a like footsteps down the hallway, and then you can hear like a female voice saying, "It isn't his," and then like another female voice, "We don't care." The whole room returns to its stillness.
Okay. They're talking about Walter.
That's what I'm thinking. Okay, I'd like to go ahead and go into this other northern room on the second. I inspect the desk.
Red velvet drape cover the windows in this room. A big mahogany desk with matching high back chair in the interest of a fireplace. a framed picture of a windmill. There's 2 overstuffed chairs in the corner of the rooms, and there's floor-to-ceiling bookshelves on the southern wall with a rolling ladder allows.
Does it look like any of the books can be pulled, revealing a secret?
You start fumbling through the books. You see most of them are decayed and destroyed. You pull out and they kind of melt in your hand. They're disgusting. Except you see on the top shelf there's 2 books that look to be in good condition.
I pull them.
You kind of pull back with them. One gives way and falls and lands upon the floor. That one's a white covered book, and then the red one doesn't really seem to move when you hit it.
I go in the room and pick it up, and I look at the title.
And it says The Story of Bam.
Glad I didn't pick that up.
Do you look at the story?
Yes.
Flipping through the pages, and it tells about 5 members who agreed to help on a sailing ship from the Moon Sea that traveled up a river and traveling through a dusky woods to a city called Dale, taking a man in a skin changer and pursuing a dragon cult that found itself inside a crypt where 1 died and 5 became 3. It tells about how
yell
the
at
3
her,
departed.
skip to the end, skip to the end.
The last part of the story tells about a Garos knocking down a book off of it and Bam running in and picking up the book and reading it.
Wow, that's creepy.
The other book kind of shifts where you hit it, leans forward, and you hear this like sound as a part of the bookshelves gives way, revealing a door.
Cool. That's exactly what I wanted to happen. I think. Go in here and
You see inside of it, and there's a bunch of bookshelves with tomes describing summoning rituals and necromancy rituals called the Priests of Osbury. And then you see at the very end a heavy wooden chest with iron feet standing against the wall, the half lid closed. Sticking out of the chest is a skeleton wearing leather armor. The skeleton belongs to a human, but it has 3 darts in it, 1 in his rib cage and the other 2 right in his forehead.
does he look like he was trying to open up the...
He
open it
does.
up?
It looks like he tried to open up the chest and was met with a dart trap to the face.
Uh-oh.
That's unfortunate.
So you're just looking at this, right, Garos?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So far.
All right. While you're thinking about what to do, you realize that there's like a small note at your feet.
Ooh, cool. Look, a note.
So it's like right below the foot of this dead person.
Alexander, worthy adventurer, depart, my friend, and in the cult of the row house. In their practices, on their hidden altar, the gold you find is yours. If you do not succeed, I will have to handle myself.
And then the note's ripped where the dart kind of cut through it. Handwritten. Really kind of a big, thick, beautiful, bold handwritten. Definitely not like the common in hand that you saw from the other notes and journals you found around this house.
Can I tell where the darts came from?
Crate, like you
So-
open it and it just kind of explodes out.
Oh, great.
So maybe you can get behind it.
That's what I was thinking. Can I move it away from the wall at all?
You twist it around and kind of like point it at the wall. The skeleton's kind of like half hanging out of it. We were able to jerry rig it just away.
Kind of having it pointed away from me, and on the back side probably would be best. I lift the lid.
3 darts explode out and hit the wall, and you're able to lay it totally flat.
Oh, I was going to close and open, close and open, close and open, close and open until it starts firing.
Yeah. So you close, it opens, it fires, you close it, you open it again, it doesn't fire.
Okay. I think it's lost its ammunition. I'm relatively more happy with it now. What's inside?
You find these items, black books, 3 spell scrolls, barkskin, protection from poison, and moonbeam, 25 gold worthy of alchemy supplies in a bag,
Yeah.
a deed to the house, a deed to a windmill, a signed will where Rose and Thornton receive all items, and then another letter. The Durst family, my most pathetic servants. I am not a messiah sent to you by the dark powers of this land. I have not come to lead you to the path of immortality. However many souls you have bled on your hidden altar, however many victims you have tortured in your dungeon, know that you're not the ones who brought me to this beautiful land. You say that you were cursed by darkness, hidden the little value that you have under your house, housing a bastard child between the master and the help, cursed ? Of that I have no doubt. Save you from your wickedness? I think not. I prefer you much more as you are. Your Dreadlord and Master, Strahd van Zaravik. The handwriting of this is big, bold, dark, and elegant.
It looked like the same handwriting as the other note.
It is.
The tone is so different.
Yeah, he seems mad.
Interesting. So they were serving him, but maybe not in the way that he wanted, and he wanted to have them killed. And then Alexander. Is it Alexander? Does he have a last name of Hamilton?
The note doesn't say.
Yeah, because he died in a duel. But,
Yeah, this windmill is a motif that has just
yeah.
come up repeatedly.
Yeah.
It was on a
The
coat
third
of
time is a
arms.
trend, is that what I hear?
Yeah. It was on a coat of arms, and then the windmill rings,
Mm-hmm.
and then this.
Okay. Do we want to go down to the first floor?
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys head out to the first floor. You can see that black marble fireplace.
Let's...
You crank open the door, it kind of goes, and you look up on a banquet hall. Like from the distance, you can hear some light chatter like throughout the room before you kind of step into it.
Creepy ghosts.
This banquet hall lined out with the most elegant, beautiful food. It looks like it was just brought out. The food's like radiant heat and warmth. Like the room smells really good. People are about to sit down and have a really nice dinner.
Thanks. I assume we don't see anyone, though.
No, there's nobody inside.
Can I sit down?
Yeah, you can sit down. The chairs are kind of really nice. There's not that much dust on this floor as the one you've seen before. And like the food looks really appetizing.
Guys, do we want to eat the food?
No.
I don't think so.
You look, you can see there's a big picture over the fireplace, and it is of kind of elegant images of deer amongst trees.
So am I smelling lots of venison?
Yeah, a lot of good tasty meat, porks and stuffed meats, and
I'll go through the doors to the south of this room.
it's a cloakroom, and there's several black cloaks hanging from hooks on the wall. They look ordinary and nothing special.
Okay. Are they worn and tattered like the rest of the house?
No, they are aging. They look like they've been worn in quite a while, but nothing on this floor looks as much decayed as the other floors. Both of you have this feeling like you really want to go play with the dollhouse, the two people who are possessed.
Dollhouse upstairs?
Yeah, like you're a kid. It's like, oh, I want to go play with the dollhouse. Okay, you open this door, and you're inside what appears to be a hunting den. You can see a fireplace.
And I kind of
well,
feel
not
at
yet.
home here.
At home here, yeah.
Yes.
A stag's head around 3 stuffed wolves, padded chairs, and a candelabrum. There's a chest, kind of storage chest. And then you can see right underneath the table is a cat, a white and gray cat.
Is this the cat that we tried to talk to earlier?
And it definitely looks familiar.
Hi, kitty. Do you live here?
No, just following. Moves through the legs of the chairs.
Are you following us?
He shakes his head up and down. Yes, and it licks his paw.
Why are
Why?
you following us?
Always fun to follow the visitors while they're here.
See visitors?
Does this place get a lot of visitors?
She looks like, no, first time I've seen a visitor here in a long time.
Hmm.
Kind of just moves up to you, Tala, and kind of goes in and out of your legs.
Is there anything in the chest?
You look inside and it reveals a crossbow
Ooh.
with 20 bolts and then 5 bolts that appear to be dipped in silver. And also inside you can find
hunting for.
inside you can also find some playing cards, 1 deck, and an assortment of wine glasses.
And wine glasses?
Because you noticed that there was a cask of wine sitting right in front of the fireplace.
Yes, that's so tempting. Although my 5-year-old self says we don't want the wine, so, I will not partake. I think we've got to go to the basement.
Yeah,
Tala, you're like especially scared.
I probably hate the basement.
And I comfort her. I put my hand around her and I say, it's going to be okay. We've got this.
Okay.
We're only facing our fears. What's the worst that could happen?
I can think of something.
No, she's afraid of even her own shadow.
Is the basement down the stairs again, or...
The red stairs stop here.
Okay. Where's the door, central door to the basement?
What?
Where's the potential door to the basement?
Oh, it's right next to.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Okay, do you open this door?
I'm not opening it, but
I'll do it.
Okay, Garos, you push the door open. You look inside, and it looks to be like a kitchen area. There's dishware, cookware, utensils placed amongst the shelves, a stone dough-shaped oven.
Does the dumbwaiter continue to go down?
You touch the dumbwaiter and kind of play around with it and see how it works.
Not the bell, but yes, the dumbwaiter.
Okay. You go inspect the dumbwaiter. It appears that this is the lowest it goes. It can only go up.
That's a little bit better.
Do we remember about the dollhouse? Did it show the basement on the dollhouse?
I guess we gotta go back up there.
I think
Oh, good call.
you can also ask the two little ghosts inside of y'all.
Yeah. I searched within myself / not myself, and I say, where is the basement?
I'll show you in the dollhouse.
Let's go to the dollhouse. The creepy dollhouse.
You guys walk up the 3 flights of stairs and then the 4th flight of stair, and you're back in front of the dollhouse. What do you guys want to do?
I open the front door of the house.
You can even see the incredible detail they put in the dollhouse, including kind of the dark things like the children swatting away bats and the eyes carved into the sides of the houses. Then you kind of see the storage room on the top of the attic, and it appears that there's like some type of door in the corner that if you kind of touch it in the dollhouse, it kind of opens and leads to a spiral staircase.
Oh, with all the drop cloths?
Yeah.
All right, so I go in there into the room with all the drop cloths, and I touch that perceived door.
You feel your hands around it and you're able to push forward, and you can feel that the door moves and it reveals stairwell leading down, and you can't see the bottom of it.
We have to.
And I think back and I say, I'm taking you with me.
Did you proceed down the stairs?
I
One
do.
flight of stairs.
I do.
Yep, 1 flight of stairs, 2 flight of stairs, 3, and the walls kind of get really close together. Very narrow, not a lot of light down here.
And that's where we ended that session.